Welcome to today's webinar on customizing Zoho Writer. I'm Balaji and I will be a host for this session. We also have Sini with us who will be assisting you with any questions that rise throughout the webinar. Joining me is Gautam, our Zoho Writer expert.
Hi everyone, I'm excited to be here and share some tips and tricks on how to tailor Zoho Writer to fit your unique requirements.
So in the recent times, we have received numerous inquiries about customizing Zoho Writer's experience, whether it's setting default margins, personalizing fonts, or optimizing proofing tools. I know we have got them covered with Zoho Writer.
That's right, Balaji. In today's digital age, having the ability to tailor applications to fit your unique requirements is paramount. Zoho Writer, a powerful word processing tool, offers a range of customization options that can streamline your workflow, boost productivity, and enhance your overall user experience. And today, we are not just going to be talking about these features, we are also going to demonstrate you how you can implement them in real time. Learn some valuable insights into maximizing your productivity using Zoho Writer.
Couldn't have said it better, Gautam. So without any further ado, this is the agenda we have in place for today. And I guess we are good to dive in. Gautam, we often get inquiries from users about personalizing their writer experience. Can you recall any recent inquiries?
Absolutely, Balaji. Just the other day, a user from a marketing company reached out seeking guidance on changing their document ruler settings. So they were specific that they needed their document ruler to be in millimeter instead of inches. So let me show you how that can be done. So I have Zoho Writer opened up in another tab. So I'll just quickly jump over to it. And as you can see here on the top right corner, I can just click on the settings icon and go to more settings. So here I'll have an option to either choose inches or millimeter based on my preference, so that the entire document ruler will be changed according to it. So I'll be able to easily use based on my preference.
That does sound handy, Gautam. I must admit it, I'm a big fan of working in the dark mode myself, especially during those late night sessions. But for our users who might not be familiar, could you elaborate on how dark mode can benefit them in Zoho Writer?
Of course. So dark mode is definitely a game changer for those late night work sessions. So it will provide a visually comfortable environment and reduces eye strain and enhances focus. So whether you're burning the midnight oil or simply prefer a sleeker interface, dark mode in Zoho Writer ensures a seamless and enjoyable writing experience. So here you go. I'll just let you know how dark mode can be enabled in Writer. So all you have to do is that just go to the bottom right corner of Zoho Writer's UI and click on the night mode button. So now as you can see, the entire document is converted to night mode and you can easily work during your late night session.
Dark mode definitely sounds like a game changer, Gautam. But what about retaining font and background colors while using it?
Well, that's a good question, Balaji. So as you can see here, once I turned on the dark mode, the colors and the background colors and the font colors might have disappeared. So in order to retain those colors, what I can do is that I can just go to the settings option, and under more setting, I'll go to UI preferences. So here I'll have an option to either include or exclude the document area whenever I turn on the dark mode. So now I'll just go ahead and exclude the document area so that the remaining interface will be in dark mode, whereas you'll still be able to view the colors, the vibrant colors that you have added into the document without any issues.
That looks pretty neat. But shifting gears a bit, let's consider our users who might feel more comfortable working in their native language. For instance, let's say we have a user who is more proficient in Spanish than English. How can they seamlessly switch between Zoho Writer, English to Spanish to enhance their productivity here?
Well, that's not going to be a very great problem, Balaji. So Writer supports multiple languages, allowing users to seamlessly switch to their preferred language in just a few clicks. So whether it's Spanish, French, or any other supported language, the transition is smooth and effortless. So let me just quickly jump over to the document, and as you can see here, I'll just be able to go to the setting and click on more settings. So here I'll be able to go to the UI preferences, and on the bottom you'll be able to change the display language. And I'm just highlighting the supported language as of now. So you can see that there are various languages that is being supported currently. So once you change it, all the settings and the options that are being shown will be displayed in your native language so that you can use it without any issue.
That looks perfect, Gautam. But moving on to editing preferences, I had a conversation with a novelist who uses Zoho Writer for writing her book. She mentioned that she wants her content to be in a specific font, but Writer did not have that font in the default font library. I informed her to check alternate fonts, but she was not convinced. Do we have any features where she can use her preferred font?
Absolutely, Balaji. Your novelist friend will be delighted to know that Zoho Writer offers a robust solution for using preferred fonts. So our platform allows users to seamlessly upload and utilize custom fonts directly from their machines. So this means that she can easily integrate a specific font choice into her writing projects, ensuring that her documents reflect her unique style and vision. So let me show you how straightforward is it to upload and use the custom fonts in Zoho Writer. So I'll just quickly jump over to write a document, and here I'll just click on the format tab from the left hand. So, and I can see the fonts that is being already listed. And if I want to add a font from the font library that is already available in Writer, you can just go ahead and choose it from there. Whereas if you have installed a font in your machine, and if you want to pull that up and use it in Zoho Writer, all you have to do is that click on from your computer. So here, if you have already installed any fonts and added it into Zoho Writer, that will be listed under the font list that is available. If you want to additionally add, you have to make sure that you install the font in your machine and just type in the font name in this tab and then click on add. So that will automatically add the font into the Writer UI, and then you'll be able to use them in your content.
Thanks for explaining that clearly, Gautam. You know what? Autocorrect is indeed a lifesaver for me. I often use words like AD in context of Active Directory, and it's always highlighted as an error. If I could list all these words as words I don't want to be given error suggestions, it would be very much helpful.
Yeah, Writer also has autocorrect feature, which will allow users to add words that will automatically correct the spelling as they type.
How can this feature be helpful? Don't we have a spell check feature for?
Yes, we do. But using autocorrect, you'll be able to personalize the common or frequent words that you use. Not only that, you can also add words or add symbols, or if you're writing a thesis, then you can also add equations. This feature can also be used by shorthand writers. So let me demonstrate how easy it is to utilize the autocorrect feature in Zoho Writer. So here, let me quickly get into the Writer panel, and I'll just click on setting and go to autocorrect. So as you can see, I already have a list of words that is being added, which I regularly use. So for example, whenever I type in huge contents, I just unknowingly type in the dollar as I'll just spell them. Whereas once I enable autocorrection, the dollar key, the sentence or the word will be replaced with the dollar symbol as per my preference. So here, since you mentioned Active Directory, we'll just use that. So now I'll add Active Directory into the autocorrection list and click on save. So now whenever I type in AD in my document, it'll be automatically corrected to Active Directory as per the word that I've added in the autocorrect list.
That is quick and straightforward. I can see how this can significantly improve the writing experience, especially for users who frequently encounter specific terms or acronyms like AD. It is actually pretty much great to have customizable options that tailor to each and every individual's need. And so this kind of saves time. And speaking of time-saving features, I often find myself typing out same phrases or sentences repeatedly, especially when drafting emails or reports. How can Zoho Writer can help with?
Well, absolutely, Balaji. So let's consider a scenario where you are a sales manager sending out proposals to clients. Instead of manually typing out common terms or phrases like "thank you for your interest" or "looking forward to hearing from you," so you can use the quick text feature to insert them into the document with just a few clicks. So let me just show you how it is utilized in Zoho Writer. And so as you can see here, I have already added quick text in my document. So you can see that I've added my office address and the commonly used term, thank you for your interest, in my emails that I draft. So I've added these, and what I have to do is that I just simply have to select it so that it will be automatically inserted into the document. So it's not only for the address or the frequently used terms. So let's say there is a company copyright text that is being inserted frequently into the documents that you generate. So you can just make use of quick text and add it into the writer. So here, for example, if I would like to add few more quick text, so I'll just add looking forward to hearing from you. So now I'll just simply select the text and go to quick text and click on save selection to quick text gallery. So now I'll just add in a title for my reference and then click on save, so that I'll be able to use this phrase or the words that I add in quick text every time by just few clicks.
I can see how this feature can be a game changer for streamlining repetitive tasks, and it's amazing how Zoho Writer offers such intuitive solutions to simplify the work. Thanks for walking us through that. Now let's delve into the review features. Any hidden gems we should know about?
Okay, so since you talked about review, yes, we have track changes. Let me introduce to track changes.
So speaking of track changes here, I recently came across a unique scenario. My friend, who's an online educator, often prefers feedback on her students' content. However, her account is mapped with a color red. So any feedback that she puts in, comes in the red color. But this red conveys a negative tone. Would it be possible to change the color when using the track changes option?
Well, you bring up an excellent point, Balaji. So let's consider this scenario where we are collaborating with students on a document. By customizing track change colors, you can assign specific colors to represent different user accounts, ensuring clarity. So let me show you how you can assign a color to yourself, and also you can set that as a default color so that all the documents will retain the custom color that you have chosen. So here, let me just first enable track changes, and once I enable track changes, I'll be able to share this document with my students as per the example that you have mentioned. So now here, if I do not want this color to be indicating my changes that I've made, I'll just go ahead and change it to blue. So now whenever I make some changes in the document, it will be reflected in the color that I have chosen. So this is how you can customize the color. So when multiple users are working on a same document, the colors can be also used to identify the changes made by individual users. So this is how easy it is for you to pick a color during track change.
I completely agree. So personalizing this experience is crucial, and it's also essential for professionals that use specialized terminology. So look, considering proofing here. For instance, imagine you're a medical professional working on reports filled with technical jargons. How can users add specialized words to their dictionaries within Zoho Writer?
We've got a personal dictionary feature for that. So whether you are in the medical field, legal profession, or any other specialized industry, Zoho Writer allows you to effortlessly add custom words to your personal dictionary. So this ensures that your document remains error-free without unnecessary corrections, even with the complex terminology. So let me show you how you can add words into the personalized dictionary and use it while typing in Writer. So you can just quickly click on the hamburger icon on the top left corner and then go to Tools. And under Tools, under Dictionary, you can select Personal Dictionary. So here you'll be able to add new words. So let's say you're using a frequent word in your company and it's not a dictionary suggested word. So in that case, you can use it as you can add it as a new word and then use it in your contents that you create.
This can greatly benefit professionals across various industries. For instance, adding to your example, let's say I'm a legal advisor. Well, I would often come across Latin legal terms that aren't recognized by standard spell checkers. With the personal dictionary feature, I can ensure accuracy and consistency in my documents without any hassle. And so I guess we can go ahead with discussing document level customization. So I guess we should talk about the features that aren't normally used by our users. So these options can take the writing experience to the next level. Gautam, have you ever felt distracted while working on an important task?
Absolutely, Balaji. Distractions can be a major challenge when trying to focus on writing.
Exactly, it's hard to stay focused. Is there something in Zoho Writer that can help with writers not having to worry about the concentration?
Yes, we do. We have focus mode feature in Writer, which will allow you to enhance your concentration. So by enabling focus mode, the content near your cursor is highlighted while the rest of the text is blurred out. So this will allow you to focus solely on the section that you're working. So let me quickly demonstrate you how focus writing, focus typing helps you while during the content creation. I'll just go ahead to the tools menu on the left panel and I'll enable focus typing. So now, as you can see, the remaining contents in the document is blurred out and it's only focusing about the content that I'm currently working on. So this will remove any distractions and you can easily create contents without any distraction.
I can already imagine how this feature could significantly boost my productivity, especially when working on lengthy documents or reports. Thanks for sharing that. And so I did look at the screenshots and I could see another option for zoom setting. What does it help with?
Yeah, definitely. So addressing zoom settings, I remember I remember you mentioning that you had an issue to adjust the zoom level every time when you open up a document. So can you just shed some more light on that regarding that issue?
So every day when I start Zoho Writer and load my document, I have to manually change the zoom level from 100% to 125% for a better desktop view. So it would be really convenient if Zoho Writer could remember the zoom level for each document individually. This can help me very much.
I completely understand, Balaji. So fortunately, we do have in Zoho Writer, Zoho, it offers a zoom setting that can cater to your preferences. So not only you can set the zoom level for individual documents, but also you can also customize the range of visibility based on your specific need. So for example, if you'd like to display a single page in the page view, or if you'd like multiple pages, you can also set that using the zoom set. So all you have to do is just go to the view panel from the left panel and then click on zoom. So here you have multiple percentage, and you can also fit the page to the window, or you can check out multiple pages at the same time. So this is how easy where you can set the zoom preference. And not only that, every time you open this document, Zoho Writer will remember the setting that you have chosen previously and it will retain it.
This does save a lot of time and hassle, especially when working on multiple documents simultaneously. And so what about document design? I recently met one of our users who preferred to keep their documents in a specific style. For instance, he wanted to choose a paragraph style and font style for the document. So is there something that Zoho Writer here helps out with?
Yes, Balaji, we do have document designs where you can customize your style and even save it for later use.
That sounds promising, Gautam, but what if I forget to choose the design before the document creation?
Not to worry. So that's where the flexibility of Zoho Writer shines. So you can start working on your document without selecting a specific design. So once you're completed with the content creation, you can simply click on your preferred or saved design, and the entire document will be transformed to match your style that you have set. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely, Gautam. That's a fantastic feature. It provides users with the freedom to focus on their content first and worry about the design later. Can you show us how it works?
Yes, sure. So let's take an example of this document that I have, and I'm just going to the compose mode. So this has got various styles and it has a design for each heading that I have added. Now what I'll do is that I'll just go to the design tab from the left panel. So as you can see, this is a custom design. So this is not a saved design, or this is not a preset design. So what I can do is that I can click on save as in order to save this design that I have set in the document. So once I save this design, I'll be able to apply this for any documents across my saved document. For example, let's say I've written the document without any headings or without any style set. So I can complete my content creation and then click on the style set that is required, so that the headings, the font set and the color set will be automatically changed based on the style that I have chosen.
It is actually great to have such flexibility in designing documents, while maintaining the consistency. Thanks for showcasing that, Gautam. So we didn't discuss about design, but how about the page layout? So like the page layout or the paper size, can I set it for the entire document or do I have to change settings for every page?
So, well, you can set page layout for your entire document or as well as for your section level. That is customization for both entire document as well as for section.
That does address my question, but how does it work? Could you show something in action, please?
Yes, definitely, Balaji. So imagine a development team working on documentation for their new application. So their document may contain various elements like flowcharts or charts to represent data in an easy manner. So in this scenario, they can utilize section level setup. So for example, they can insert a flowchart on a page which has got landscape orientation, while the remaining documents remain in portrait orientation. So this way, they can maintain a consistent layout throughout the document while accommodating different content needs. So let me just quickly jump over to the document and I'll show you how this exactly works. For this, let me take a different template which has a landscape orientation. So here you can see that there are two pages and both the pages are in landscape orientation currently. So what if I require the second page to be in portrait instead of landscape? So all I have to do is just simply click on the previous page and insert a break. So I'll just go ahead and insert next page section break. And now I'll be able to change the second page orientation. I can simply go to the page setup and click on portrait. So now, as you can see, the first page is in landscape orientation, whereas the second one is in portrait. So not only this, you can also select the required paper size, and you can also insert multiple columns or set margins. So these are the various types of layout that is available in Zoho Writer.
That's pretty neat, Gautam. The ability to customize layouts at both document and section level offers great flexibility, especially when teams are working on complex projects with diverse content requirements. Thanks for shedding your light on this feature. Previously, we talked about customizations in proofing. So do we have any options to enable or disable these?
Yes, we do have options to enable or disable these features. So by enabling, you can navigate to the Tools tab from Zoho Writer's interface and then toggle the settings according to your preference. And additionally, we also offer a thesaurus where you can find synonyms and antonyms to enhance your writing. So here's how you can easily enable these settings. So you can go to the Tools tab from the left panel and click on Spell Check. So here you have spelling error, grammar, and writing quality. So you can enable or disable it based on your own preference. And as I mentioned, we have a thesaurus tool where you can look up for the synonyms and the related word using the thesaurus tool.
So it is actually great to have such customizable options to tailor the proofing experience to user specific needs. Thanks for clarifying that. But can users customize notification preferences to suit their needs? Is it something that is supported in Zoho Writer?
Indeed, they can, Balaji. So Zoho Writer offers flexible notification settings, ensuring users stay informed about the updates that is being carried over the document without feeling overwhelmed as well. For example, a project manager overseeing multiple documents may prefer to receive notification only for critical updates, so that it will help them to stay focused on what matters more. So in this case, they can enable notification setting for that particular document. So this is how they can enable it. So they just have to go to the review tab or the review mode from over here and click on email notification. So in this, as you can see, there is various options for you to choose. So you can either be notified for all the changes that is being happening in the document or only for the comment activities inside the doc. So if you choose to, you can also ignore this document completely and disable notifications for this particular document. And not only that, it doesn't stop over there. So you can also set this as a default so that any document that is being created will follow the same notification preference that you have set.
So I noticed that you mentioned comments during the notification settings option. So do you have any challenges or hassles that users come across essentially that can be omitted using Zoho Writer?
Yes, one common issue that usually users face is that, I'll just explain that with an example. So let's say a sales team who's sending contracts to clients And while negotiating terms with the document section, they found it challenging because the document is being shared to their clients as well as to their internal members as well. So when they comment or make any comments in the comment section, that can be that'll be visible for both their clients as well. So in this case, there are many users facing issues.
So, okay, I understand the hassle that comes across here, but how can this be sorted out, Gautam?
Well, it's quite simple. So users can select who can view the comments while commenting on the document. So they have an option to choose specific users and add comments in the document so that only those designated individuals will be able to view those comments. So let me get you to the writer and I'll show you when I add a comment, what are the options that I get. So here, since as you can see, when I add a comment, I'll be able to make this comment visible to all the collaborators or the collaborators within my team. Or I can also customize this by adding specific users and then setting it up so that only the added user will be able to view the comment that I have added. So that's how simple it is for you to customize the comments that is being added in the writer document.
It is pretty reassuring to know what Zoho Writer offers for such granular control over comment visibility. Next up, let's move to customization options that we have in Zoho Writer. Starting with the most used feature in Zoho Writer being mail merge. Is it possible to customize the sender email address when sending an email?
Absolutely, Balaji. So customizing the sender email address can add a personal touch to your image, and now it also enhances the credibility. So let me show you how it's done. So as you might know, this is a merge template and I have inserted a data source into this template. So now if I am merging the documents and sending out documents in bulk, I can choose the email address, the from email address from which the emails are going to be sent out. So here I'll have an option to choose my personal or primary email address that I've added, or if there are any group or alias email address, you can also add that and you'll be able to use that as well. So for example, instead of Hotmail, I prefer Zoho. Since I'm going to send it out as a company email, I'll be able to use that. Or if I just want to use the system email, then you can use notifications@zohowriter.com in order to send these bulk emails.
As Gautam mentioned, being able to customize the sender email address not only adds professionalism, but also helps recipients recognize and trust the emails. It's a great way to maintain brand consistency and build rapport with our audience. So we discussed about the customization on sending email addresses, but is it possible to set the default font and page settings for a user? Let me provide an example here. Let's say a user working in a legal team wants to keep their document paper-sized to legal, which has to be set as a default, and also set a font as default for all the documents that they create. Is it possible to do this in Writer?
Absolutely, Balaji. So default font and page settings play a significant role in maintaining consistency across the documents and ensuring that they meet specific formatting requirements. So let me walk you through the process. So here is Zoho Writer panel and I can just go to the format option. So now I can select the required font and the formatting options that is being incorporated into the document and then click on default. So now as you can see here, the default text and paragraph style that I have added in the document is being saved. And I can also click on set as default for all the new documents so that any documents that I create from now on will maintain the same text style and paragraph style. And also talking about default page settings, you will also have an option to select a page size as a default so that whenever, as you mentioned, the legal team, so they might be using a paper size called a legal size. So using that, setting it up will allow them to create any documents with the same papers. So they can simply click on legal paper size and then set this as default. So as you can see now, paper size has been set as default. So whenever I create new documents, it will be automatically in the legal paper. And not only that, as I mentioned earlier, we can also arrange the margins and add columns as well as orientation and make that as well as a default so that it will be followed when you create new documents in the future.
So adding to what Gautam said, By setting default font and page settings, we can save more valuable time and ensure that all our documents adhere to our organization's branding guidelines and formatting standards. It's a simple yet powerful way to enhance the professional appearance of our document. Now, so you might be sending emails across different time zones, and you might be wondering if it's possible to customize the date and time zone format. So any ideas on that, Carl?
Yes, so customizing the date and time zone format ensures that your emails are time-stamped accurately according to your preferred time zone conventions. So let me show you how it's done. So you just have to click on the settings icon from the top right corner and click on language and region. So here you'll be able to customize your locale. So I'm just going to select English, and based on the time zone that I set, the date format will be automatically changed, and you'll also be shown a preview with the currency numbers and the date and time that is going to be used in the future. So once you save it, you'll be able to use these formats in the document, and as mentioned, you'll also be, the correct and accurate time stamp will also be added.
To provide more insight on this, customizing the date and time zone formats, we can ensure that our emails are not only accurate, but also culturally sensitive to recipients in different times. It's a thoughtful feature that adds a layer of professionalism and consideration to our communication. So we have discussed about the user level communications up till now, and I guess it's good to jump to the document level ones. Gautam, so sometimes I dabble with Deluge custom functions, and it would be helpful if our users also get to know about the integrations that we have with Zoho Writer on Deluge scripting.
Absolutely, Balaji. So Zoho Writer offers seamless integration with Deluge custom functions, allowing you to enhance your documents with dynamic and interactive elements. So let me showcase you how you can leverage these functions effectively. So for those of you who are not aware of Deluge is a scripting language that is being owned by Zoho. So you can make use of this for automation process. So let me quickly jump over to the mail merge template, and when I go to automate tab, I'll have an option to merge and invoke custom function. So whenever I'm sending out emails in bulk, and I'll have various output options that is available in the UI by default. So I can choose to save the document as an individual file, or maybe I can send it out as an email, or even add signature fields into my document and then send out the merged document for sign collection. So these are the various output options that is available within the UI. Well, if I want to extend the abilities of these output options, I can go ahead and use custom functions for that. So for example, let's just take sign collection. So I want a workflow where I'm going to use Zoho CRM as my data source, and I'm going to send out documents in bulk, let's say 100 to 150 records for unique users, and I'm going to collect signature from those users, and I want these signed documents to be attached back to the CRM record to which they belong. So now here in the UI, I'll have an option to save the signed documents back to OneDrive, but in order to extend these features, I can execute custom function. So when I click on configure, we have a predefined gallery which will have various options of custom functions. So you can just simply click on any one of these and use it in your workflow. So as you can see here, update CRM field with data from signers. So what I do is I can update a CRM field from the data that I get from the signers, or I can also attach the file to Zoho CRM, or even upload the signed documents to Google Drive, etc. So all I have to do is that just simply click on use and then make some tweaks to the function based on my requirement, and then link this function so that the workflow will be completely set and that easier.
So as Gautam mentioned, integrating Deluge custom functions into Zoho Writer opens up a world of possibilities for creating dynamic and interactive documents. So starting from automated calculations to personalized content generation, and with these invoking custom functions, empower users to customize their documents according to your specific preferences. And so as we have covered document level customizations, Gautam, I guess we should touch based on org level customizations as well. Do you have any suggestions for us, Gautam?
Of course, Balaji, org level customizations are crucial for maintaining consistency and branding across all the documents. So we have options like organizational level design and an org default document, and also we'll be releasing out org fonts soon. So previously we talked about how to create a document designs or how to select a document design. So we can also, make use of organizational design.
That sounds promising, Gautam. Can you show me how these work and we get to see how these can be implemented?
Yes, definitely. So I'll just go to the writer and I'll click on the design tab from the left panel. So here I'll have an option to save the design as an organizational design. So once I save it as org designs, all my colleagues within my team will be able to use the design that I have used, that I have shared. So basically, for example, let's say I'm working on a document and I have come up with a design that's really pretty interesting, and I just want that be used by my colleagues as well. So in that case, I'll be able to save this document design as an org design and inform my colleague so that they'll also be able to use this in their documents that they create. And as well, not only document design, we also have an org default document. So let's say an admin wants all the users in their team to maintain a set of style for the documents that they create. They can create an org default document and that can be used by all their organizational members. So they can just simply click on new and use the org default document in order to create new document. So how you can create a new org default document? So you have to go to the admin panel for that, and you have to be an admin in order to access this admin panel. So you can just click on the profile icon on the top right corner and go to the admin panel. So here under configuration, you'll have org default template. So this can either be created from scratch in Zoho Writer, or if you have any doc or document format files, so you can simply upload that into Zoho Writer and use that as your org default template. And speaking of the upcoming features, we also have org fonts that is on the final stages of its release. So if you have any font that is being used for your entire organization, or maybe it might be a policy that a specific font has to be used for any contents that is being created in your company, you can make use of org fonts. And if you have installed the font in your server, you'll be able to add that into your Zoho Writer, and you'll be able to utilize them for the contents that is created in. Right.
Perfect. So being able to customize fonts, design, and the default documents of the organization will definitely enhance the brand's identity and improve efficiency in the document creation. As you mentioned, so the org level fonts or something that's cooking. So is there something else that we are working on from Zoho Writer that our users might be excited about?
Yes, Balaji. So for all those chemists and pharmacists out there, we are working on a tool which is an alternate to ChemDraw. So you can create molecular structures and test out synthesis, etc. So usually you would require tools which are really expensive to perform these actions. But with Writer, you can easily make use of this integration. So you can find this feature in our upcoming or future updates, and you'll be able to utilize them.
That looks cool. And thank you for showcasing these functionalities and their potential impact on our workflow. Now it's time for any questions that have arisen to the webinar. So if you have any questions, please do let us know. And in the meantime, let me just start addressing the questions that were already raised, which have already been addressed by Sini. For the wider audience, let me just reiterate them. So a question on when Zia will be available for Portuguese. So we do not have an ET at the moment, but we do have Portuguese language supported with Zoho Writer. You can continue using it on just how Gautam showed on how the language can be modified for Zoho Writer. Additionally, another question on whether we'll be covering automation. So we'll have several previous webinars that have addressed automation. So it might be send and merge and send for signature, or just be merge and send as an email, or even fillable automation. So if you have any suggestions for our upcoming webinars, you can fill the form that is being shared by Gautam right now. And so another question on how WordPress is integrated with Zoho Writer. So we did have a previous webinar in which this topic was covered, but you have asked, Gautam will again show you how WordPress integrates into Zoho Writer. So there are two ways that this can be done. So we have a self-hosted WordPress or even a directly available, publicly available WordPress. So there are two ways to do this. So Gautam will explain how it can. Over to you, Gautam.
Thank you, Balaji. So in order to, when we talk about WordPress, as you might know, there is a self-hosted site as well as personal WordPress available. So you have to make use of WordPress.org if you're a self-hosted site. That is, if you have a company domain and if you're using that, then you have to go for WordPress.org. Or if it is a personal blog, then you can make use of WordPress, which can also be found under the extension panel. So here I'll just use WordPress.org, and I have to get these details from WordPress and I have to link it with the extension. So once the linking process is done, you'll be able to push documents across WordPress from Zoho Writer. So we have a webinar already, so you can check that out for the complete and detailed step. We have gone from step 1 to the entire integration and how the pushing of documents or the updates of revision work. So you can check it out and you can check the completed webinar list that is being posted in the comments.
Thank you, Gautam. So another question on features like sharing with members and credits. So I guess we can touch base on how sharing can be done directly within the document, and about the automation credits. So we can just dive into the admin console and see how users can check their credits.
So yes, when it comes to sharing, if you'd like to share documents, all you have to do is just click on the share button on the top right corner, and you can either use the email address of the users or even create a new external share link. So currently, just a moment, let me switch over to another document. So you can click on the new external share link and create a link with edit permission, view permission, or view and comment permission. And you can also set a password. So using password, you'll be able to securely share your documents with your members outside your team. So when it comes to internal team or the internal users, you can simply use their email address and enter it and provide various levels and share the document. Not only that, if you just want to create a link for your entire organization, you can just click on change visibility and click on anyone in your team and provide various access levels as well. And click on say that will provide you a link which can be accessed by anyone within your team. And similarly, we also have an option to where users can view the files that you share using anyone on the internet. So you can make use of these various options for sharing. And when it comes to credit, yes, you'd have to be an admin in order to check the admin panel. So you can just go to the admin panel and check out your usage report. So all the merge operations that you have carried over will be visible in here, and you can check out the credits available. And if you would like to purchase more credit, you can also click on buy more credit and purchase your credit. So for Zoho One users, you can just drop an email to us and we'll be able to enable it from our end. So for WorkPrice standalone and other product user, you can just click on buy more credits. That will take you to the credit page. You can check out your pricing, and there are various plans available with which you can choose any one of them and purchase.
So adding to what Gautam said, so the credits available are again consolidated to different applications. So as you can see on the screen, so you have CRM, projects, WorkTribe, people, and Recruit. So all these services have their different credits available, and you can look at it consolidated based on the application. Additionally, you can also look at how PDF form generation or even a HTML generation or the fill data collection. So based on the type of merge done, you can see it categorized separately as well. I hope this addresses the question. Right. So the credits are for automation. For the automation purposes, the credits are used. So it could be either mail and send an email, or even mail and send it as a signature, or even merge and send it for a fillable collection. So I hope we can get back to you via emails, where we can also have you book an appointment with us for a demo, where you can get more into the automation part and how credits can be used. So we'll send an email to you, Georgie, to address the question on what is the difference between permalink and standard share. So permalink just gives you the option on customizing the link, which should be a permanent link as the name mentioned. So it can be configured on the whole for the team or the individual collaborators or anyone on the internet as well. So whereas when it comes to standard sharing, so you'll be able to share it with multiple users with multiple access levels based on your preference. So as you can see, so a name can be typed in, and so the access level for each and every user can be configured. So it can be either view, edit, comment, or just share. So it can be configured based on the options that you would. Perfect. So any other questions? So we'll wait for more questions so that they can be addressed. And in closing, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for joining us today. We hope that this webinar has been insightful and informative. I hope we have been giving you valuable tips and tricks on how to customize Zoho Writer to meet the specific needs. And to explain what we have done through the webinar, so we have discussed starting from personal preferences to document level customization. We have covered a wide range of features that can elevate the writing experience, whether it's customizing fonts, setting default page settings, or integrating Deluxe custom functions. I hope we have shown on how to unlock the full potential of Zoho Writer here. And just to remember, the key to maximizing this productivity lies in leveraging these features and that are available to you. So by customizing Zoho Writer to fit your unique requirements, you can enhance collaboration and maintain the brand consistency by using our org level customization features. This can again help you create professional looking documents with ease. And then I'd like to express our sincere appreciation to Gautam for his valuable insights and expertise shared throughout this webinar. Thank you, Gautam, for your outstanding contribution to today's session. And to the users, we encourage you to explore further and experiment with the features we have discussed today. And if you have any questions or need assistance along the way, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. So this is the email address that you can see on the screen. So it would be support@eu.zohowriter.com for our European customers. And for other users, they can simply drop an email to support@zohowriter.com. There is also the direct number to reach us on. So any questions that you might have, you can simply reach out to us and we'll be glad to help you out. Also, we have shared the Writer demo link through which you can book a one-on-one session with us where all your questions on Zoho Writer can be addressed and see how Zoho Writer can meet your needs. Again, so all the webinars that we host are based on the suggestions that we received from our previous webinars. So the webinar suggestion link has also been shared in the Q&A panel. So please feel free to just access the link and feel free to suggest your topics for the upcoming webinars. So we'll just wait for a few more minutes and see if you have any other questions, or else we can wrap up the session. So the links that are needed are shared in the question and answer panel. So it's easier for you to access. So even the completed webinars link has been shared in the channel so that it is easier for you to look at our previous webinars. So there are around 19 webinars that are done. So it is free for everyone to access it and have a look at them. Additionally, the recording of this webinar will be shared to each and every individual who has joined this webinar, or even if you are absent, we will be sharing it that as well. So we have our webinars every second Thursday. We also did look at the previous attendees, those who joined for previous webinars as well. So glad to see some remembering faces here. And I guess, Gautam, we don't have any other questions. I guess it's good to wrap up the webinar. Once again, everyone, thank you for your participation, and we look forward to seeing you in our future webinars. Until then, happy writing.